Today, there are a lot of updates from the Kursk direction. Footage shows a first-person view, FPV, drone pilot, known only by his call sign, Silver. He was a Russian soldier blew up and destroying his unit's base before switching sides or making a dramatic defection to Ukraine. Officers are seen in the clip cleaning their weapons and talking before going to bed. A huge firestorm then erupts in the basement dormitory, which contained around 15 men at the time. While the explosion, which occurred at the Storm Z unit, severely wounded the battalion's commander, reports said. Storm Z units are usually comprised of ex-convicts and former mercenaries. Silver's attack and defection were months in the making, having been meticulously planned with the help of the Freedom of Russia Legion, FRL. Once out of the unit's base, the FPV drone pilot threw infantry mines on the road outside before taking a pre-arranged route to the Ukrainian front line. In a press conference in Kyiv on Wednesday, Silver said he had grown disillusioned with his unit after watching it commit atrocities. He added that he had signed up to protect my motherland, not to die for Putin. A commander in the FRL with the call sign, Caesar, told the Telegraph that the defection showed how clever, brave people could help to overthrow Putin's regime, and he added that the drone pilot would soon join the front line to fight against Putin's forces. A spokesperson for Ukraine's Military Intelligence Directorate said that Silver had provided valuable intelligence, Russian battle plans and unit positions, while Ukraine's forces have been running a program to convert disenfranchised Russian soldiers dubbed I Want to Live. The Russian military's chaotic command structure, lack of coordination and communication breakdowns in Kursk Oblast have led to a series of disastrous friendly fire incidents. Here, as the Ukrainian offensive continued to penetrate deeper into Russian territory, the Russian High Command scrambled to fill the gaps with a patchwork of disjointed units. The resulting chaos within the Russian ranks, compounded by a breakdown in communication between these fragmented forces, led to a series of disastrous incidents, allowing Ukrainian forces to capitalize on this disarray, further accelerating their advance. The inception of the problem occurred when Russian officials reacted to the Ukrainian incursion by declaring a counter-terrorist operation in the region under the leadership of the Russian Federal Security Service. This decision directly conflicted with the fact that the Kursk region was already part of the responsibility area of the northern grouping of forces, which is led by the Russian Ministry of Defense. This disjointed command structure, involving several decision-making centers, has immediately led to friction and inefficiency. On top of that, the hastily assembled and under-strength units that Russians scrambled from various fronts and military groupings had no communication with each other, and this lack of coordination caused operation breakdowns, chaos, and disorganization. This problem has amplified the already weak Russian defense in the area, allowing the Ukrainian forces to take advantage of these problems and make significant gains. Even more, this complicated and bureaucratic command structure has reduced the overall combat effectiveness of the Russian armed forces and caused a serious record of deadly mistakes. One of the earliest and most telling examples of the command and control failures within the Russian military is illustrated by a video published by Russian military bloggers. The footage was intended to showcase a Russian Ka-52M attack helicopter successfully engaging a column of armored and transport vehicles, which propagandists claimed to be Ukrainian. However, the narrative quickly unraveled, revealing a major blunder and highlighting the severe communication issues plaguing the Russian army. Ukrainian drone operators soon released their own footage, proving that the targeted column was in fact Russian. The helicopter pilots had unknowingly destroyed their own troops and equipment. Subsequent images of the aftermath emerged, showing the charred remains of KAMAZ and Ural trucks, as well as an MSTAS self-propelled howitzer. In a shocking twist, the Russian pilot responsible for the attack was later punished by his commanders, who removed him from his position and transferred him to an infantry regiment to fight as a regular soldier. This decision, as reported by Russian military bloggers, was met with outrage, as the punishment is similar to a death sentence and will further weaken Russian aviation forces in the region, which have already suffered significant losses due to Ukrainian anti-aircraft measures. A similar incident unfolded just days later near Kornivo, where yet another Russian armored column was mistakenly struck by their forces. The attack was initially celebrated as a successful hit against Ukrainian troops, with Russian bloggers quickly boasting about it. It shows a Russian unit managing to capture several Ukrainian soldiers, thinking to be supported by other Russian forces around them, only to find out minutes later that the surrounding forces are also Ukrainian, which quickly led to the captors becoming captured themselves. The next footage reveals an even grimmer fate for Russian soldiers, who were not captured this time but were instead recklessly ordered by their commanders to advance through a minefield without any warning or guidance. The horrifying video, recorded by a soldier who tragically stepped on a mine, starkly illustrates the self-destructive chaos tormenting Russian defense operations in the Kursk region. This disturbing incident underscores the profound disarray and disregard for soldier safety that has come to define the Russian military's faltering efforts in the area. Overall, due to the steady advance of the Ukrainians in the last few days, Russian high-ranking commanders have panicky attempted to halt the offensive without success. Various reports and geolocated footage from the Kursk region give a clear picture of how their chaotic moves have even helped the Ukrainians and led to friendly fire, destroying some of the sparse Russian personnel and equipment. This leads not only to significant losses on the battlefield but also to even more public problems for the Kremlin, as Russian officials struggle to find a solution and control the narrative, which becomes more critical with every single day.